Hello, Star Wars Galaxy of Hero players. This is Anditesh Ordo. Today I'm going to be talking about legendary events, and in my opinion, a couple of characters that could have been a legendary event, but currently are not. And I feel like they could still make a change to that. And yeah, I just want to talk about these two characters, how they could have been legendary events and whatnot. So we do have a Mother Talzin event. Mother Talzin should, in my opinion, and I bet in some of other people's opinions, should have been a legendary event. Needed Night Sisters to unlock. Plain and simple. Of course, right now we got a legendary event where, you defend Dothamir from the Separatists. I would say, in my opinion, I would change that event to being able to farm Night Sisters. All the other knights, well, other than Zombie Spirit, maybe Zombie and Spirit as well, but farming the other Night Sisters, Old Daka, Ventress, Acolyte, Initiate, and Talia would be great options to farm through that event. It would just give us another event that'll come around, and we'd be able to farm Night Sisters up, or Night Sisters outright, while you needed Night Sisters for it. And, but the Mother Talzin event, legendary event would be, I feel like still be a great idea. I know we got a chance to unlock it 2-star, and I will admit it would be kind of a weird way to change it now, since you already unlock a 2-star when they would have to change it to a 5-star character to unlock. And if you already have it unlocked at 2-star, then kind of makes it weird that they, have it set up that way. But, like, she has a similar feel to the Emperor Palpatine. But but it's, of course, a Night Sister and does some other things as well. So, but yeah, I feel like that would actually help alleviate, being able to farm Mother Talzin shards. Because every time that event comes around, I think people get 10, maybe 20 shards at a time. And then that event doesn't come around for another month or month and a half, give or take. So unless they make it to where this event is every other weekend, kind of like used to be the Omega battles, I don't know. I don't know. Just farming it seems like it does take a while, and unfortunately, I'm not even there to farm yet. I would like to improve my Mother Talzin, but unfortunately, I can't. So, but for the most part, yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on that. I still kind of wish she was a legendary event character, but, the developers have their reasons to change it up a bit, and I guess that's, what they did is they changed it up. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think about Mother Talzin. Do you agree that she should have been a legendary character? I bet a lot of people do, just because of how hard it is to farm her. And it's still pretty hard to, 7-star zombie, because even though you make sure Night Sister zombie is such a low gear, you still want her 7 stars, just so you can use her in areas of the game that you normally can't, like territory battles, dark side territory battles. You'd be able to take a Night Sister team through one of the 7-star battles, and the best way to do so would be to have Night Sister zombie, so that, at least you have a decent tank to run through. So, but yeah, that's the first character I feel like could have been made a legendary character, but didn't make that mark. The second one is kind of a oddball, hodgepodge one, but it does kind of make sense. He would also have to be updated if he ever was a legendary character. But again, this character also suffers from the 2-star to 5-star unlock method, and that is Wicket. Of course, maybe to allow the game to unlock, even though it's 2 stars, they could change these characters to, once you beat tier 5, the character will be able to be unlocked. Kind of that, secret there. But for the most part, or maybe just the first 2 legendary events that you need to unlock at 2-star. That wouldn't hurt anything. Yes, some people will be able to get more shards than normal, but all you have to do is transfer it into currency. Like, I'm transferring a lot of my 7-star shards into currency anyways, so I don't think it's going to hurt. But anyways, Wicket, I feel like Wicket is a character, yeah, that's a screenshot of my Wicket. But Wicket is like a really good character to have a legendary event for. That way you can unlock using Ewoks. Even though, don't get me wrong, the event that he is in is great. Where you have to battle the ATST. And that might be, a good, starting point for that. Maybe that can convert into a legendary event, kind of like the Defense of Dathomir, where you have to face against Separatists, but this one you're facing against ATST walkers. So, they could probably kind of change it into more of a unique legendary event. Just so you can, farm shards a little harder. Maybe, like, every time it comes around, there's 7 tiers, and the more tiers you have, the more unlocks you get. So the first time around, you battle, like, say, the first and second tiers, and then the third and fourth, and the fifth and sixth, and then finally the 7th. And then after that, you'd be able to just keep farming the 7th tier until the character's 7 stars. And then after that, maybe instead of, those, that character shard you get, or you just keep getting, that character shard. I don't know. I don't know. There could be some improvements between these two, because farming them is going to take a whole year to get them to about 7-star. Unless you buy. They are a good paywall. They are good behind a good paywall setup where they're going to be pay to play just to play with these characters, just to make them really viable. So it's kind of, it's good for the developers, and so they can make some money, because, they need to pay their employees and the developers and stuff like that. But I'm sure there are better ways. I feel like there are better ways. I just don't know them. So that's why I'm saying they could do better with these guys. But if Wicket was a legendary character, I don't see him having another leader tacked on. I think he is adding another unique tacked on, which it could be a kind of similar to R2's Number Crunch, but just for Ewoks only. Like, like say Wicket gets 40% counter chance, 40%, and like maybe 30% counter damage, and 20%, or maybe 30% critical avoidance and 20%, or 20% critical counter damage. And then other Ewoks gains half those amounts, so it'd be 20, 15, 10, as opposed to 40, 30, 20. So it kind of makes it even, and so you're just granting those bonuses to other Ewoks, so they have a chance to counter. Of course, I don't know how they do with a chance to counter. It's a small percentage to counter, though. So I don't see it's going to be, like, impactful, but who knows? Maybe it might, help Ewoks out a little bit, even though they are actually starting to, place in the top of, the top tier events. And maybe it's just finally people are getting good enough built Wickets and good mods for the Ewoks to finally, start, building up in the arena to fight. So, but yeah, that's my kind of thought on these two characters, that they should have been both legendary characters. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you agree that these guys should have been legendary? And if not, maybe they can convert kind of a hodgepodge legendary kind of feel into the events they're in. Even though they are kind of unique events anyways by themselves, that they kind of feel like a legendary event, but especially the ATST one. Like, when it first came out, I talked about it, that it could be like a mini raid, but for single player. So, who knows, maybe they might take an idea from that and throw it into the game, where they have like mini raids that happen. Single player raids. And this would be, they would of course pop up in the events for players to work around. I think it'd be kind of cool. So, but yeah, let me know what you guys think. I do appreciate you guys watching this video. And I really have fun, making these videos. Of course, I'm always working on improving, thinking of new ideas of how to improve. But also I will be talking about a new, a specific. I'm gonna kind of spoil this a little bit. I'm going to be talking about Rook the assassin for Thrawn. Probably in one of the next videos I post. Because someone put in the comments of the Thrawn's guard and Thrawn's droids that I didn't add Rook as one of the characters to help support Thrawn. And honestly, that is a good point. I didn't think of that. Now, would Rook be an Imperial or not? I don't know. I'd have to actually look into like his backstory a little bit, because yes, he did serve towards. I know in Legends he was more of a fan with Vader, which is why he was part of the Empire. Him and the Nogri. But for canon now, I gotta read into that more and learn more about Rook. He seems like a scoundrel assassin. I feel like it'd be great that he'd be a scoundrel too, so he kind of adds to another faction somewhere else, because he has that kind of scoundrel feel, even though he would just be maybe just an Imperial assassin, and he would have stealth and evasion capabilities, and maybe he has like a assassin's target ability, and then against that a target like he avoid. I'll talk about that in another video. So, but again, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it, and you guys have a wonderful day. Hate to spoil that, but I will talk more once I look up Brooks some more.